What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. As we jump into Marvel Comics this week, we are starting off with X-Men issue number 10. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with this series, be sure to check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything that is happening with this ongoing series. When it comes to the X-Men team, they have truly had their hands just full of disaster and catastrophe, one after the other. From reporters almost exposing mutant resurrection, to Orchis constructing their own base on the moon of Mars, now known as Araco. And if that wasn't a big enough threat, right now out there in game world, they have a Mr. Jones who has set up a more or less gambling bet to see if they can bring down Earth and mutant kind. Be sure to buy the comic, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into issue number 10, this story is picking us up with Rogue, currently sitting in a field in Araco, using a rifle that was manufactured by Forge. This is their ability to spy on this moon, to spy on the Orchis facility that has been built up. Our X-Men having to take down one threat at a time. This is the biggest one that is sitting on their front door. After she completes her reconnaissance, she heads back to the treehouse, and the X-Men, they examine all of the findings, doing a complete scan of the moon known as Phobos. What Orchis has done is created a very dense gravity, a breathable atmosphere under a dome, and a direct-to-Earth gateway. Their defenses are already very strong, and they are getting improved on the daily. And a last layer of security, they bring regular civilians up to this place on the regular. Children, school teachers, anything you can imagine, using them as human shields. Because long as there is innocent lives in this place, the X-Men can't destroy it. They can't just blast it out of the sky. What they also learn is that there are little dots signifying Nightcrawler's body, because he had died on that moon saving Araco. His remains are looking like they are more part of the decor than anything else. Not only that, there is adamantium. This is something to be expected because Logan has died many times. Orchis always being able to collect the body up, which means they probably have a good little stockpile of this stuff. But that's not what's happening here. It is only enough adamantium for one individual, a small individual, either a woman or a large child. Without hesitation, Wolverine is ready to get in there. The other X-Men, they want her to stop, to take a breath, and let's think about this. But for Laura, there is nothing to think about, because this could be one of her clones. Taking us a short time later to the Orchis facility that is on this moon, we have Fei Long saying goodbye to some children. As they make their way through the teleporter, we are just seeing his human shields really in action. But the X-Men had hatched a plan, and they got Wolverine inside the facility. This is supposed to be a stealth mission, her getting in and out and calling it a day. Every member of the X-Men, they all took bets on if she was actually able to continue up her stealth or if she's gonna end up getting caught. Finding this a tad bit insulting, not sure if they would do the same thing to Logan, Cyclops lets her know that Logan would be in on the bet and probably betting against himself. But when it came to this mission, none of them were able to talk her out of it. The black science that conjured her from the Weapon X DNA, they had cloned it many times over, creating what she calls quote-unquote sisters. And so if one of them are alive, if one of them exists on this moon, there is nothing she will not stop at to ensure she gets that sister back. As she makes her way through this facility, dodging all of the guards, using as much stealth as possible, it brings her to a pod. As she cuts all of the wires, all of the tubes, we see it open up, believing that she is going to see another one of her. What we see pop out is in fact Deathstrike. Wolverine immediately trying to let her know that we don't need to fight. You are not a prisoner of the X-Men. I just found you here. What it looks like happened is Dr. Stasis is the one that kidnapped Deathstrike, and Deathstrike is currently thinking that she was traded to the X-Men. Laura doing what she can to kind of calm her down, but what she says really makes her mad, saying that I don't want to fight you, but if that is what we're gonna do, just remember the last time that you and I scrapped, saying the wrong strong words, Deathstrike goes in, and it doesn't take long for Wolverine to get her down on the ground, letting her know that she should probably heal up, that she is not in any kind of fighting state. But the problem is, right now she can't heal, and that is because all the adamantium inside her body, it is poisoning her from the inside. This is why she came to Dr. Stasis. He claimed that he would be able to help her, but then he changed his mind, being passed around from laboratory to laboratory. At this point, she has no idea where she's even at. Wolverine picking up Deathstrike, getting her to her feet, and they head out of here, letting her know that we are gonna escape this place and I will fill you in on everything that we currently know. But as they go to leave this place, Fei Long has caught on to them. As they go through the garden, Jean Grey gets in communication and lets them know that you have been caught. The alarms start going off, and from the ceiling, we see a hatch open up. All of the oxygen is being sucked out of this place. And this is when Rogue steps in. As Deathstrike and Wolverine go flying out into space, Rogue flies out there, grabs them, and gets them back to the healing gardens as quickly as possible. Not having a direct gate from the treehouse to Araco, she had to use the Krakoan gate, slingshotting herself around and grabbing them, bringing them to the healing gardens, and after a little bit of time, a little bit of a blood transfusion, we see Deathstrike get up and she heads out of here. She wastes no time not having any bit of conversation, assuming that she is gonna go find Dr. Stasis and make him answer for everything that he has done. Taking us to the portal on Krakoa, we have Rogue and Destiny having a conversation. This conversation is Destiny letting her know that you should really be leaving Gambit. He is not the right man for you. It's the same narrative she's played over and over again. Rogue really does hold a lot of resentment for her, and this is because she has the ability to see the icebergs before they hit us, but she says nothing. She allows them to come. She allows the world to burn. Destiny swearing that she just doesn't understand yet, but with time, she is going to see it her way. But before Destiny does leave, she gives her one little hint, pointing her in the direction of Game World. This is where Rogue gets in communication with an old friend. We see her talking to Rocket. He just so happens to be currently on Game World, though he tries to play it off like he has no idea what she is talking about, recognizing that he is not going to be able to lie about this, asking what she wants to know about Game World. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. At this point, we have hit 10 issues, and throughout these 10 issues, it really has jumped us all over the place. But it feels like these pieces are finally starting to come together. All of these separate stories, all these little separate adventures. We are seeing Dr. Stasis, Orcus, MODOK, all of these individuals are working together. All the enemies of the X-Men of mutant kind, they are forming alliances. And right now, the biggest and most threatening thing to all of mutant kind is the Orcus base. Them having this foothold. This could be very detrimental. And this foothold is only getting stronger as the days go on. This is the threat that is directly in their face. Now, the one that they can't see is Game World. They have been sending all kinds of catastrophic events. Everyone trying to do the best they can at destroying mutant kind. Our X-Men have been completely oblivious to this. Rogue and Gambit both have been working on where Game World is, and this is their first real hard lead. In the next issue, we can only assume that they are gonna make their way to Game World, and they are gonna knock some freaking heads. You know, I've been saying for a long time, the X-Men, they have everything stacked against them. By all appearances, it looks like all of mutant kind is set up for failure by their own hubris or outside forces. These things combined together, we are seeing the slowly downfall of Krakoa as a whole. But there are those small inklings of hope. This issue demonstrating exactly that. While nothing was really solved, we see the X-Men truly starting to step into their role and save people, save mutant kind, bring down these obstacles that are surrounding all of them from truly growing. With all of this going on, it's gonna to be very interesting to see Judgment Day. From the solicitations that I've read so far, what it is really telling us is the X-Men are proclaiming themselves gods, quote unquote. Now, I don't really know how that's gonna go. I don't really see that necessarily happening, maybe something taken out of context. And this is what I mean when I say the X-Men are falling apart. Krakoa is falling, because even when they clear up one issue, just down the road, there's another one popping its head up. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by hitting the super thanks button. This button will let you donate directly to the channel, and every little bit helps us out. Now, if you can't do that, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you like this video, and until the next breakdown.